The first question I want to raise is that this year alone, Kim Jong-un regime has continued, almost 19 missile tests, and quite recently, Kim even legalized its nuclear forces. But unfortunately, the world eyes turned into Russia-Ukraine war, and there is really a strong doubt, not only in South Korea but worldwide, whether North Korean nuclear issue is still the political priority of Biden administration. So my question is whether North Korean nuclear issue is still the Biden administration's priority?
Oh, very much so. As someone who is directly involved in this issue, and I'm in constant communication with our leadership in Washington, I can assure you that it remains a top priority for the United States government at all levels, starting with President Biden. We're deeply concerned about developments in the DPRK. In fact, over 30 ballistic missile launches just this year. Of course, all violations of UN Security Council resolutions and other commitments that they have made. And of course, the recent statements out of Pyongyang are also deeply disturbing. So, in some ways, we have no choice but to make sure to continue to focus on this as a high priority issue for the US government.
Okay. And as a former diplomat, I think I have to raise this question to you as well. Comparing the policy approaches and administrative structures on North Korean issues. During Trump administration's period, it seemed that Trump administration paid a lot of attention, and President himself is very much interested in North Korean negotiations. So, for instance, physically, I was told that there was a room inside White House so that the President Trump could easily reach to the team to ask or discuss the specific matters. But after Biden administration, if I want to make it clear, you are based in Indonesia. So physically, actually, you are far from the White House. So why, if Biden administration still puts priority on North Korean nuclear issues, why did not call you back to someplace near to President Biden?
Well, first of all, I was actually involved in the DPRK issue during the Trump administration as well. As you may know, I supported the summit diplomacy, particularly the Singapore summit of 2018. So I'm quite familiar with the deliberation that took place in Washington during that time. And I'm actually not aware of any physical room in the White House. I believe wherever he is, the President of the United States can reach his staff anytime, anywhere. So I don't think there's a need for a physical room for any particular issue. You're quite right that I'm still the United States ambassador to the Republic of Indonesia, which is a very important position. One of the key tasks for me as the U.S. Special Representative for the DPRK is to maintain the closest possible communication with the ROC. As well as Japan. And that's actually more easily done and more quickly done from Jakarta than from Washington. Of course, I stay in very close touch with Washington and constant communication with my team in Washington, but also my bosses in Washington. But I have to say, my being in the region makes it so much easier and so much quicker for me to maintain close communication with my counterparts in Seoul, as well as Tokyo, and at times Beijing as well.
My next question is on human rights of North Korea. In the past, several years, especially after the talk between Trump administration and Kim Jong-un, American administration has not appointed a special envoy on North Korean human rights, and that thing is even now continuing after Biden administration. President Biden indicated a couple of times about freedom and democracy, but so far Biden administration has not appointed. So when I was in DC last week and last year as well, I always asked when Biden administration would appoint its ambassador on North Korean human rights. Why? What is the reason of delay of this process?
So as you pointed out, President Biden has made very clear that human rights is back at the center of our foreign policy in general. We also remain deeply concerned about the worsening human rights situation in the DPRK. We are in the process of identifying the best possible candidate to be our special envoy for North Korea human rights. We're making progress in that process, and hopefully we'll be able to make an announcement soon.
So how soon, you mean? Because we waited almost, the 2 years and raised this issue again and again. And quite recently, Yoon Suk-yeol government has appointed the ambassador on North Korean human rights. So we need a similar, the appointment from Biden administration. And as a special representative on North Korean nuclear issues, will you strongly, ask your administration to start this process as soon as possible?
Oh yeah, I actually don't have to ask the administration to do that because the process has already started. We made significant progress, and I think I can't predict the exact timeline because, as you know, these appointments take some time for issues unrelated to the topic. But we made significant progress, and I hope to be able to have some news soon.